Thank you, Dave. I'm Rachel Humans, and I'm the Natural Resources Department Director for the Summit Lake Paiute Tribe. I sit on the coordinating committee that Paul mentioned. I've been working on behalf of Lahontan cutthroat trout for the better part of 10 years, and I'm excited that I get to share with you more information about the history and biology of this unique trout that is culturally significant to the Summit Lake Paiute Tribe and the tribes of northern Nevada, who recognize this fish having been here since time immemorial. LCT also have special meaning to the state itself, as Nevada's state fish. To better understand the biology of LCT, it's important to start with its evolutionary history. LCT spent the last several million years isolated within the Lahontan Basin of northern Nevada, eastern Sierra of California, and southern Oregon. For much of this time, ancient Lake Lahontan was interconnected throughout northwest Nevada, as depicted here. As this lake ebbed and flowed for millions of years, LCT was the only trout within this basin and was the top predator. As the top predator, it experienced little to no competition for resources or predation by other fish species in a very productive terminus lake. As a result, it grew to enormous sizes within this interconnected lake system and used the large river systems that fed it to spawn in the spring and to rear young. Approximately 13,000 years ago, a major climactic shift began, and the ancient lake started to recede to what we see today. This resulted in LCT becoming isolated within the present-day river basins. Also around this time, a large landslide cut off the stream systems in the Summit Lake Basin and created our desert terminus lake, Summit Lake. Due to these changed conditions, LCT adapted unique life history characteristics to survive, and stream and lake form life histories emerged. In 1800, prior to settlement of the western U.S., lake form LCT populations likely inhabited a dozen or so lakes, with stream form populations likely existing in well over 7,000 miles of interconnected river and stream habitats. Lake form LCT use streams and rivers to spawn, but spend their adult lives in lakes. Stream form LCT complete their entire life cycle, including spawning, within streams and rivers. In some places, this is because there is no longer a lake available. Both forms of LCT spawn in the spring. Despite the challenges of isolation, today LCT exist on the landscape in a wide variety of habitats, from alpine lakes to terminus desert lakes, from fast-moving mountain rivers and small headwater streams to slow, meandering desert rivers. Cold, clean water is a basic need of all trout, including LCT, but LCT are better adapted to the more hostile environmental conditions found in the Great Basin. LCT have much higher tolerances to heat, salinity, and dissolved solids than other non-native trout, allowing them to flourish in small desert streams and desert terminus lakes, where their non-native trout counterparts are less likely to thrive. Since LCT are so well adapted, they rarely require stocking or maintenance when in healthy, intact natural habitats. And it's worth noting that properly functioning, healthy, riparian habitats not only benefit LCT, but also provide our local communities with increased water quality and quantity, forage for wildlife and livestock, drought resiliency, angling and other recreational opportunities, and act as much-needed fire breaks. LCT are the largest inland cutthroat trout, with the lake form growing much larger than non-native trout in the Great Basin. LCT commonly weigh in anywhere from 10 to 30 pounds in lakes and 3 to 6 pounds in streams. LCT are a lot like Nevada. They're unique and tough. Being unique and tough means that LCT have the capability to thrive in naturally harsh ecosystems. This makes them an invaluable resource, not only for the native people who depend on them to this very day, but also for the worldwide angling community who travel long and far for a chance to encounter one of these incredible fish in their native habitat. It's time to rebalance the scales for Nevada's state fish and work together to move LCT recovery into a new era.